That's enough out of you.
The Bar. Objective voice of objection for a most objectionable world. Hello, boasters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern. I'm Andy. I bench 480. I can crack a tree in half just by looking at it. Can I? Of course, reality. Alex, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
Right.
Well, not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, look at you like on a pizza.
It's very impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Yeah. You're listening to The Bug.
In this week's Truth News, according to an official poll, 98% of Londoners are very happy with CTOS. And I am not sure that I agree with this, Andy. I don't think 98% of Londoners have ever in the history of London ever agreed on anything.
It feels wrong behind here since it was abandoned. Known hundreds of people were hurt and died here.
So what's with all the fucking security? This place should be under repair, shouldn't it? Something stinks here.
Point taker. Why am I looking for, Bagley?
Any kind of device or component that could still be emitting the signal. It seems to be coming from within the rubble.
Humans are selfish, not much. They want to know, will this make my life easier, or will it make it hard? Not acting like myself? Of course I'm myself. I've always been myself. Even in my most arrogant night. I'm stressed. Hurting back to normal. Whatever you perceive me once this quarter is over. Dude, why are you carrying that? Oh no, no! I'm gonna puke.
He's looking to automate our jobs, mate. This is no joke.
Director Cass? You're serious? Who told you that?
Friend over in R&D. The shit he's told me about background checks and knowing who's going to be useful to Albion, who's going to be a problem.
You that worried about your job? This is a PMC. They already do background checks on all of us.
Oh, you don't get it. He was talking about the general population, not just us employees. How bad is it that everyone has to be watched that closely?
Well, look around. It's fucking bad. And Cass is going to do what he has to keep it from getting worse. Suggest you do the same.
Search the area!
Quadrant clear. Moving to assist.
Where are you hiding?
They've escaped. We need to regroup. What the?
This is it. The signal is coming from this spider-bot fragment. No indication yet who it belongs to.
Torn up, eh? What is that doing here, Buckley?
Difficult to say, but with an AR reconstruction, we may be able to see what happened to it and if it relates to the attack. Access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction. Perfect. 2 more data relays to go. One more data relay and I'll have it. take the audio from this stream and the video from these 36 and... Got it. Go back to where you found that spider bot and I'll show you the AR reconstruction from the night of the explosion.
Copy.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
You brought the payload? What, think we'd go back for you? Don't trust the Kelly dog.
Kelly? Clan Kelly? Why would gangsters blow up a tech conference?
This is a handoff or I'm a fucking pumpkin. Kelly's are just a supplier.
But who were they meeting? She didn't seem like one of their crew. You think she could be working with Zero there?
Well, don't just stand there. Keep looking.
Bagley, were you able to determine who was controlling the spider bot?
I've now fully decrypted the signal the spider bot is broadcasting. And while I cannot identify a specific user, it is a call code used by the Metropolitan Police Service.
Fuck me. The guard was watching all this.
The reconstruction continues behind that rubble.
Excellent. I trust you have some sort of quantum tunnel for me to jump through, Bagley.
Quantum tunnel technology is at least 10 years away, but spider bots and drones are here today. You could try one of those if you don't feel like waiting.
Good idea.
Why don't you aim those human eyeballs of yours at the van's cargo?
Copy.
RDX nitrogen, and the exact same detonator system like the bombs that were planted at Parliament.
That's Zero Day's signature.
Hurry. We've got all the deliveries.
So you were hired to supply all the targets? Shut it, we're all on need to know.
So, Zero Day was effectively using subcontractors to pull off their bombings.
That's certainly one way to pull off a massive coordinated attack while remaining anonymous. Zero Day needed manpower and resources, but they needed them at an arm's length. And it doesn't take the world's greatest AI detective to see that both Clan Kelly and Albion benefited in the aftermath. Unfortunately, this is the most we can get out of the AR reconstruction, but if we could find the mystery officer who was spying through the spider bot, maybe they could tell us more. Tracing the Spiderbot serial number, it was assigned to New Scotland Yard 3 years ago. Perhaps more information about its user or its assignment will be available at the station.
It's hard to believe the police would have been tracking the real bombers and not saying anything about it to the public.
The only way to know for sure is to investigate New Scotland Yard.
to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. But don't worry, we're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organization that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so...
Lord have mercy. Looks like Albion's running the station.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased with your privatized goon squad, just take your business across the street.
I never would have thought I would have longed for normal conflicts between police and citizens.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the spider bot will be further in.
What's happening? Oh! This is unbelievable.
Buckley, is that the same spider bot?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of spider bot from the Tone bombing site.
Any chance you can ID the last user?
Navigate the spider bot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
I'm onto it.
That opening right there looks like a good exit point. That's a part of the remote detonator system from Parliament. If the Met, or Albion rather, actually analysed it, they would see it wasn't DedSec's handiwork at all. Right, get comfy. This spider bot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected. That's Dalton's mask. It must have been recovered from Parliament. It might be the only thing left of him now. Buggery fuck, would you look at all this junk? You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening. You're almost there. Make your way through this last vent path.
Cheers.
There we go. I think you just made a new friend. If Albion wanted to lock them up, they must be dangerous. And dangerous we can use.
Yes. I got it.
Scanning Spiderbot, heavily armed, privatized police force while you've broken into the station.
All right.
Station.
Secret location? That's interesting. We should go and find out what we can.
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates.
Talk about that side of things. Bagley is so special because it's been trained on this huge cache of information. That's how these AI systems work, or at least used to work. I mean, we don't really know that much about the latest version because there's so much secrecy around the tech. But they're given this huge amount of training data. It's basically a huge database that's used to teach the AI about patterns in behavior. You know, so if you always travel the same way to your house, it can predict when you're going to go and get a self-driving car ready for you before you even ask for it.
That's pretty terrifying. In some ways, I don't want this data sort of to drive my life. It's
The GPS history of the Spiderbot we recovered regularly pinged these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
Seems like an appropriate spot for a clandestine group to meet and plan an attack.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
Bagley, is there any way in here?
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside.
I say again, all units, we have reports of a hostile in your area. Over. Approaching with caution. Over.
Use a pursuit intervention technique.
Target has decided to go for a swim. Over. Units, be advised. The target is driving a motorboat. Over.
Worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is
Negative.
a really
No sign of the target
commercial
yet.
model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster, the most important thing was to keep you in that
Terminating the
for the
search.
longest amount
Control.
of time possible.
Put out an APW.
And because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that,
Oh my, there's a fully equipped secret bunker down there. Looks like an off-the-books cop shop.
Well, if Albion was stomping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
Whatever they're working on, let them to the tour and bombing somehow.
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Well, former inspector now. Since Albion's coup, the Met is no more. The police brass had already buried the evidence anyway. Everything implicating Albion and Clan Kelly in the bombings. But I know Mary Kelly's band of twats were involved, and they're involved in other crimes we can look into. Me and a few good mates are willing to go off book, going after Mary Kelly again. I'll never fucking learn, will I? Inspector Caitlin Lau, video log. Clan Kelly and Albion are teamed up on some deal. I don't have all the details, but it looks to be human trafficking. The European Processing Center is the Albion angle. Since the bombings, they can grab anyone off the street. Call them illegal immigrants, potential DedSec insurgents, whatever. Though we know who the real danger is. So, Clan Kelly gets hold of these people, these immigrants, deportees, victims, really, and they're taking them somewhere. But where and why? It all comes back to the boss lady herself. I knew she was into something, but she wriggled off the hook. There's only one way I can do this. 24/7 surveillance on Mary Kelly. If I'm caught, well, this will be my last entry. But I have to see what she's hiding.
So, our mystery officer was Inspector Caitlin Lau. It sounds like Mary Kelly was her white whale, and her investigation led her to the bombings.
Strange bedfellows, Albion and Clan Kelly. But if you think about it, maybe not so strange.
It seems like 0 Days Web covers all of the unsavory bits of London. Tug on a thread, and it leads back to them. Clan Kelly and Albion included.
People are literally being kidnapped off the streets. We have to do something.
Inspector Lau mentioned Albion is running their part of the operation out of the EPC. Detectives like us call that a lead.
This Albion Clan Kelly business leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And if Caitlin Lau's right, then this little nugget jumps to the front of the queue. We have reason to believe a former DedSec operative may still be alive, but missing inside the EPC.
Angel Lopez, not London-born, but I won't hold that against him, unlike some others.
Looks like Angel got caught up in the immigration roundup, which, ironically, may be the only reason he escaped 0 Days DedSec purge.
Anti-immigrant sentiment has grown in London since the bombings. Albion fuels it. It allows them to send anyone they want to their brutal refugee camp.
We need to find Angel before they discover he's dead sec. This is kind of personal team. But finding his trail might just shed some light on the Albion Clan Kelly connection.
Damn. If he's here in the country, we have a chance of finding him at least. But at the EPC, lad knows what is happening to him over there.
I've sent the details to your device and advised our contact at the EPC. They can get you inside.
The perfect environment for an authoritarian voice to come in and say, no.
Someone around here wants to speak with you. Pushing the coordinates now.
Authoritarian politicians everywhere, and anything that threatened them or they disagreed with, they would call it disinformation. That's disinformation. That's fake news. And again, we got in a situation where nobody really believed anything. And the trouble is if you were telling the truth, it's very hard to get your message to cut through all of the noise of all of the disinformation that's there. So like, you know, you remember Out on the Edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take any infants and they would crucify them. And that's a great, fantastic, viral story. And how do you counter that story? With the truth. The only way you can counter it is by saying, no, they didn't. And of course, no one wants to spread that story. No one wants to hear that story. They want to hear the sensationalism. They want to hear how people were victims of violence when in fact they weren't. Or they were victims of insurgent forces when in fact they weren't.
The news isn't neutral. It's a battleground. Big media researcher and academic Alfie.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which governments have controlled and influenced their populations. So, you know, totalitarian countries have typically
What was that?
Spread out and find them.
Clear over here. Moving on.
Drone, initiate search protocol.
Police constable, I don't suppose they'll be too happy with Albion making them redundant, do you?
Check our next area. Must be nearby.
Damn, it's like they just vanished.